I'd like to share a story, actually an experience that I had by applying one of your principles. What happened was I was filling up my motorbike one summer night, about 9 p.m. And as I was waiting for my motorcycle to be filled up, I noticed on the other side of the petrol pumps a really glossy black shiny car. And it caught my attention. So while I was waiting for the bike to be filled up, I meandered around the other side to get a closer look. And as I looked at this car, it was the most beautiful car that I'd seen as a street car. And I was admiring it, and I looked around it, and it was the first time I'd seen this car, and it was an Audi R8. I looked through the window to acknowledge the person, to say, wow, nice car, and it was a very attractive woman driving the car. Just gets better. So anyway, I thought to myself, wow, that's a really beautiful car. And then I thought nothing of it. And a few months later, I was listening to you, and you were mentioning about you only have to hold something in your attention for 17 seconds. I listened to that, and then a little while later, I thought to myself, what could I hold in my attention for 17 seconds that I'd really like? And I thought about the Audi car. I remember you made a point where you said, although you hold something in your mind for 17 seconds, it must be something that you can actually believe you can have. So if it's too far out of your belief system, it's probably not going to be good. So I thought to myself, well, that Audi car, I couldn't see myself actually purchasing one right now, but I could actually see myself sitting in one. I could believe that. And I could see myself looking at all the instrument panels and feeling the comfort of the chair and smelling the leather and holding the steering wheel. And I could feel that. And I said, yeah, I can do that. So I did that. Well, I forgot about that for a while, and it was about 3 months later, and I was getting my bike tuned up again. And a guy rolled in on another bike, and he had some decals around his wheels, and I liked them. And I asked him where he got that done. And he gave me the address, and I booked my bike into that place, and it was a custom shop for cars. So I booked in, and about a week later I went over, I dropped my bike in, and when I arrived, the guy that came out, we had an instant kind of interaction. We hit it off really well. So he said, just fill in your details here. And I said, how long will it take? He said, oh, you can actually wait for it. So I was just waiting, and I was looking around the workshop as I was waiting, and there was a picture on the wall of an Audi R8, and I was looking at it, really focused on it, and he came over my right shoulder and he said, isn't that a great car? And I said, yeah, it's the sexiest street car I've ever seen. We just left it at that. And then I picked up the bike. I was happy with the job, and I went home. And then about 2 hours later, I got a phone call from him, and he said, we're doing a TV commercial. And you know that Audi R8 you were looking at on the wall? I said, yeah. He said, that's mine, and I want you to be the driver in this TV commercial. So, of course, there was no hesitation about that. They arranged the day, and I was in the car, and the film crew was all around, and, you know, it was a pretty big production. And I was sitting in the car, and one of the film crew poked his head through the right window, and he said to me, isn't this exciting that you're doing all this? And actually, the most exciting thing is I was sitting in that car, looking at the instrument panel, feeling the steering wheel, smelling the leather, exactly how I had it in my mind in those 17 seconds. I was thinking to myself, that's not exciting considering that I've created this. And if I've created this, what else could I create?